Right, let's do something a little bit intentionally bouncy. Feet slightly wider than shoulders, not too wide. We're going to do that cross arm swing that we did last Saturday. I'm just going to move to a slightly more jaunty angle. So just see how your shoulders feel. Going across the body in the front is usually okay. It's this swinging behind the shoulders that sometimes meets resistance. So again, just check and don't make the movement any bigger than comfortable. That's it. So one arm swings across the front, one arm swings behind. That's it. We still shift our weight from one side to the other. That's it. Knees still soft. But this time the head stays in line with the shoulders. So the shoulders turn, your head turns, and you're not going to turn more than 180 degrees. So you're looking from the left to the right. Still a soft gaze. That's it. Let the elbows begin to bend. So the movement begins to have quite a strong up and down movement. Skyhook lifts you from the crown of the head, arms swing up. Skyhook lets you drop, arms drop. That's it. Don't make the movement any bigger than your body feels comfortable. That's it. That dropping is part of putting our feet down, putting our roots down. Let your attention go down to the soles of your feet. Feel your feet being pushed against the floor that you're standing on, pushed against the earth. That's it. This is like the carrot. If you really wanted to start moving a little bit more aerobically, you can allow yourself to be a little quieter for that first arm swing, knowing that you're then going to do something a little bit more vigorous. Great. Now, let the movement begin to subside. Softer, 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 softer. Gradually letting the movement disappear. That's it. I hope you're nicely, just a little bit breathless. Last Saturday, we did the one-sided arm swing. So your feet start in that parallel stance underneath the hips. Let your weight shift over onto one side, and the non-weight bearing side just goes forward the length of 1 foot. One of your feet, not 12 inches. And just shift your weight forwards, backwards, from the front foot to the back. Just checking, seeing how the knees and hips feel. That's it. Now that front foot just turns out to 45 degrees, so that then that shift of weight, instead of being backwards and forwards, is slightly forwards to one side. And see if you can let the waist be the origin of the movement. It always feels like the thighs, they're so helpful, so keen. They want to push and pull you backwards and forwards. And they will start to grumble and ache a little bit. At every time that happens, just bring your attention up to the waist. Allow the waist to be the origin of that movement. The arms just hang, and the movement makes the arms swing. Elbows are soft, wrists are soft. Eyes not looking at the screen unless you have to. Eyes resting on that distant horizon. That's it. Waist draws you forward. Waist draws you back. That's it. If you notice your feet lifting off the ground, the toes often lift up, the heels often want to lift up, just reduce the amount of backwards and forward swing. Once the feet feel more stable, more stuck to the ground, increase that swing. But the arms still quite low. That's it. I'm smiling because there I am trying to look at that distant horizon, and then out of the corner of my eye keep looking at you in the screen. And then saying, right, Kim, everything's okay, back to the horizon. That's it. Good. We won't do it for too long, but I've worked with teachers who end up getting you into this position and then telling you a little story to distract you. So you keep doing this movement and you don't notice it. But I can't think of any good stories to tell you at the moment. So just let the waist draw you forwards, draw you backwards. That's it. Spine hanging from the head hanging from the sky. Excellent. Don't forget to breathe. And then let the movement gradually subside, letting the movement disappear. And then bringing that front foot back in line under the hips with the other foot. Shift your weight over to the other side. Raise the non-weight bearing side, just bring it forwards by the length of one foot. Just as we did before that foot rotates out by 45 degrees, just check how the hips and knees feel as you shift your weight forwards, checking that there's no dodginess, no vulnerability. Then that front foot rotates out 45 degrees, so you're shifting your weight slightly to one side. See how it feels. It's quite nice to let the waist, deliberately taking your attention to the waist, drawing you forwards, drawing you backwards, before letting the arms just hang. That's it. Elbows soft. A little bit like being on a swing. The waist can't help but draw the shoulders backwards and forwards. The arms swing freely. Elbows are soft. Eyes resting on that distant horizon. That's it. Excellent. Again, just check that your feet are firmly stuck to the ground. If the toes or the heels begin to lift off the ground, just reduce the amount of that backwards and forward swing. That's it. Excellent. I was just looking at one of the panels thinking, that person's got rather stiff shoulders, and it happens to be me. That's it. That's good. Again, be careful the arms don't pull you backwards and forwards. The movement comes from the core. The arms just happen to swing because the rest of the body is moving. That's it. Good. And then let each movement get a little less, a little less, a little less, until the movement disappears. Bring the front foot back in line, so feet now under the hips, parallel. That's good. One more little bit of aerobic movement before we really settle down. So last Saturday, we did a movement called pointing at the horizon. Just to check, the movement ends up, the biggest movement is one arm swinging forwards, one arm swinging backwards. And again, listen to what your body feels like. If that backwards movement says stop here, don't let me tempt you to bring the arm up further and go into tension. So really listen to how far the shoulder is happy to move. Great. So find a window, blank piece of wall that is easy to really let your mind's eye go out to the horizon from. And if during the exercise you want to close your eyes and use the mind's eye more clearly, you're welcome to. So the knees are soft, legs like springs, and the arms swing backwards and forwards. Keep that movement quite small to begin with, like marching. That's it. And allow your shoulders to move with your arms. So as each arm swings forward, it pulls the shoulder on that side. So you get a little rotation of the spine. That's it. If the neck doesn't want to keep looking, allow the head to keep looking straight ahead, you can let your head turn a little bit, but try and keep that mind's eye straight ahead. That's it. If you like a little bit of poetic imagery, you could imagine that we're standing at this point in time, in this moment, on our life path. And in front of you, we're just not quite sure what's ahead. It's a bit fuzzy. So you begin to let that front hand, the index finger, draw your attention to a single point way out there on the horizon, somewhere ahead of you, where you're aiming for. That's it. No longer that soft gaze. The eyes are bright, wide, 20/20 vision. And with the mind's eye, it's always perfection. That's it. Lovely. And it's quite nice to know where you've come from. So imagine that arm that swings backwards behind you, pointing behind you at a point on the horizon, where your path has led you from. That's it. As I said at the beginning, don't force the movement. If the shoulders don't want to make such a big movement, only go as far as you can still smile. Effort, yes, but not discomfort. That's it. Great. And if your imagery can really work, the movement still has its origin at the crown of the head. That golden thread, that puppet string lifts you, your arms swing up. It lets you drop, your arms drop. Each time you're dropped, you feel the solidity, the confidence that the earth beneath your feet gives you. That's it. If the body says, I've done enough, just consciously decide to bring the exercise to a finish. Don't suddenly give up. Just let the movement gradually disappear. And we're going to finish the movement anyway. So letting each swing get a little less, a little less, a little less. Smaller, smaller, faster, faster. Until we come to a standstill. Now we need to really put our roots down. Feet ever so slightly wider. Knees soft. Doesn't matter if the heart is beating quite loudly, firmly. Doesn't matter if the chest is doing all the breathing. Taking your attention down to the belly, to the nose and the belly. Soles of the feet firmly stuck to the ground. Pushing the knees very, very gently outwards so that hard pad of skin from the little toe to the heel is pushed against the earth. Right, we need to do something less formal, a little bit more free-flowing. And my favorite Qigong movement for free flow is chasing Qi, playing with Qi. In the early days of Qigong, I really was scared by this movement because it's very much of an intuitional movement. You trust your body. If your body starts moving in a different way to Kim, that's fine. If your judging critical mind says, I'm not doing that properly, go faster. Leave the judging mind behind. So we will start with the formal movement, but if your movement changes as the exercise progresses, that's fine. Nice wide stance, as wide as you feel comfortable. That's it. That's it. And again, it's that London omnibus movement, like the old-fashioned windscreen wipers. Your head still hanging from the sky, your weight shifting from one side to the other. Not doing a metronome impersonation. That's it. Good. Make sure you've got space around you. If you're sharing the room with someone else, then just a little bit more space so you don't clip their ears. And let your hands float up and create that ball of Qi. During the exercise, that ball of Qi might contract, it might expand, it might get distorted like a fair liquid bubble. It doesn't matter. Just feel that ball between the palms of your hands. Slide one hand on top, one underneath. And whichever hand is on top, let the ball move to that side. So if your left hand's on top, you move to the left. If your right hand's on top, you just take the ball as far as you're comfortable. It's as if you're showing the ball that side of the room. What do you think of the ball? Yes? Do you like it over there, ball? And then you decide to show the ball the other side. So that top hand slides round to nudge the ball back in the other direction. And you show the ball of Qi the other side of the room. Do you like this side? Do you like the shelves? And then simply let the movement flow from one side to the other. Never going out of your balance area. So it's so easy. The ball wants to go over there, and now I feel unstable. So not so far. Top hand nudges the ball back. Top hand nudges the ball back. Just letting the movement flow from left to right. If your hands start moving in a different way, that's fine. If a hip or a knee doesn't want to let the body go so far to one side, that's fine, don't. Now, from this simple movement, left to right, begin to explore where you can show the ball of qi. If your spine is happy to turn, let the movement rotate around your body. Do you like looking behind me, ball of qi? Ah, you like looking out of the window. Ah, seeing if you can take the ball of qi down to look at the dust on the floor. Seeing if you can let the ball of qi look up at the cobwebs in the sky. Ah, the movement is simply you playing with that ball of qi, suggesting with your hands where the ball might like to go, listening with your hands where the ball would like to go. Being honest and saying, oh, you want to go down by the floor, but my knees won't let you stay down there for too long. So let's come back up again. I'll let you see the floor in a minute. Slow movements, fast movements. Whatever the body feels comfortable with. Oh, do you like looking at the lights up there in the ceiling? Oh, my shoulders don't. Ah. If you need to narrow your stance or widen your stance. Oh. If the body gets tired, tell the ball you're beginning to get tired. Slow, small movements. Maybe even coming to a standstill somewhere. It's as if the body just wants to look out of the window. And then, like all games, because this is a game, we are simply allowing that qi to flow as freely as possible, making the movement a little less, bringing your feet back under the shoulders. Feet back, shoulder width stance. Gradually, like working with young children, you don't suddenly say, right, stop, we have to do something else. You give young children a chance to take on board that it's time to finish a game. Make sure the skyhook is still supporting you. Spine hanging from the head. It is quite an aerobic movement, so the breath will be up in the chest again. Letting your mind take the awareness of the breath down into the belly. Doesn't matter if the chest is doing all the physical movement. In your mind, the breath comes and goes from the belly. Hands slide on top of the ball of qi. Gravity takes it down. Just let the arms hang. A little bit of stillness. Connecting to the earth, receiving support. Connecting to the sky, receiving support. Breathing in, recharging, replacing. Breathing out, releasing. And again, just have a little informal wriggle and a shake. That's good. So last Saturday, we did both forms of the Tao Yin, and I'd like to do the other form. It's the more familiar one, but they often get mixed when people describe doing the Tao Yin forms. So often the two get interspersed and turned into one form. So feet are quite close together in this form. All right, I won't bother to stop and change the angle of the camera. This is the form Tao Yin connecting heaven and earth, where you push your knees out. The movement of the knees outwards opens the inside of the feet, so your feet lift off the ground like a hinge, opening the foot gate to make it easier to extract qi from between your feet. So the other form, you go round your feet and pull the qi up through the legs. This form, you gather qi from between your feet and lift it in your hands to return to the belly. So, start with a gathering movement, hands reaching out, palms of the hands coming to rest on the belly, one hand on the other. Doesn't matter which hand. Palms turn up. You've got a good, trusted friend standing behind you. They very gently and respectfully take hold of your elbows and just draw the elbows back. And they can feel the resistance in your shoulders. The minute your shoulders say, oh, no further, you feel a little tightness in front of the shoulders, or the beginnings of the shoulder blades beginning to pull together. Then your friend lets go of the elbows. Fingertips draw together. When they touch, reverse prayer. Center of the chest, the hands make that lovely movement known as the lotus flower blossoming. So palms face forwards. Rotate round the heels of your hands and then move into supporting the sky position. And just pause. Always pause just above, not in an extended position, but just imagining the weight of qi above you. Fingers get drawn backwards towards the horizon behind you. And it doesn't matter if you move a millimeter or a few inches, just letting the hands reach out as far as you physically can, and then let your mind reach out beyond that physical limitation, right out to those distant horizons, gathering a handful, 2 handfuls of fluffy, cloud-like qi to bring back, 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 and pushing the qi into the open chest. The hands roll round, fingertips point down, and then the hands are heavy. Again, it's that weight of the hands that draws you down. As the hands pass the knees, foot gate opens. Wherever your body says that's as low as I can physically get, you might even touch the earth, but let your mind reach down to the very core. Journey to the center of the earth, and at the core, the purest qi of the earth. Little nugget, so heavy and dense you can't pick it up, so the sky hook needs to pull you up, up, past the knees, the foot gate closes, and placing the qi in the belly, directly in the belly, nourishing, satisfying, contented. If that movement has reminded you and you're familiar with it, go at your own speed. Turn your head and your body away from the screen and just let the movement flow at your own pace. Palms turn up. Good friend draws the elbows back. The minute you feel resistance in the shoulders, that good friend releases the elbows. Fingertips drawn forwards. Reverse prayer. At the heart center, the center of the chest, the lotus flower blossoms, supporting the sky. However you like to envisage that weight of qi above your hands and then reaching out to gather it from every point on the horizon. Drawing those handfuls of qi back, placing in the chest gate. Chest gate closes, reverse prayer downwards. Heavy hands drawn like a magnet down to the core of the earth. Foot gate opens, scooping qi up from between your feet and acknowledging that there is no way you can lift that qi up without the help of the sky. The sky has to draw you up from the crown of the head. Foot gate closes and placing the qi in the belly. Ah, beautifully prepared qi of the earth, satisfying, nourishing. We'll just do 2 more cycles. Palms turn up, elbows are drawn back, elbows release the minute you feel that gentle pull on the front of the chest. Reverse prayer. Lotus flower blossoms opening the chest gate. Supporting the sky. Reaching out. Being curious. Some parts of the horizon are difficult to reach towards. Maybe just pausing a little bit at those points where the mind's eye doesn't want to reach out. Being curious. Some parts of the horizon are so easy to see. Drawing that cotton wool, fluffy, cloud-like qi back, pushing it gently into the chest. Reverse prayer down, down. Foot gate opens as your hands pass the knees. How deep, how near to the core of the earth can you reach? Scooping up and asking the sky to assist, to enable you to draw that qi up from the earth. Foot gate closes, placing the qi in that open, receptive belly. Ah. And so sad I can't hear any of those sighs of contentment from you. 1 more cycle. This is the final movement. Palms turn up. Good friend draws the elbows back. The minute the chest draws your attention, the elbows are released. Reverse prayer to the heart center. Lotus blossom opens the chest, ready to receive, supporting the sky, making real what the chest is going to receive, reaching out as far as the mind's eye can reach. Drawing that fluffy, cloud-like qi back to the open chest, placing it respectfully in the chest. And as the hands rotate round, the chest gate closes, down to the earth, down to the center of the earth. Foot gate opens as you pass your knees, scooping up the purest, the most refined qi of the earth, and using the sky hook to draw your body up, up, Foot gate closes as you pass your knees, placing the chi straight into the reservoir, straight into the storehouse. And just letting the hands rest on the belly. Widen your stance so it's easier to keep the soles of the feet and the foot gate closed. And to close the form, those pantry doors, those cupboard doors, gently being closed, tucking the chi up safely, keeping it safe yet available. We're not locking it up and throwing away the key. Arms just hang. Back to the Wu Chi position. Soft breathing in the belly. That's good.